Overfishing is one of the most significant threats to marine biodiversity, and its ripple effects reach far beyond just reducing fish populations. Entire ecosystems are disrupted, and numerous animals, both directly and indirectly affected by overfishing, face mounting pressures that threaten their survival. Here are 10 animals urgently in need of protection due to the global crisis of overfishing. Sea turtles, ancient mariners of the ocean, are increasingly at risk due to bycatch, when non-target species are inadvertently caught in fishing nets. Each year, thousands of turtles, including critically endangered species like the Kemp's Ridley and hawksbill turtles, are captured and killed as they become entangled in nets meant for shrimp, tuna, or other fish. This accidental capture depletes already fragile populations that are also contending with habitat destruction and climate change. Reducing bycatch through better fishing practices and gear modifications is critical to their survival. Another group heavily impacted by overfishing is sharks. Many shark species are caught for their fins, which are highly valued for shark fin soup or as unintended bycatch. Overfishing has decimated populations of hammerheads, great whites, and reef sharks, among others. Sharks play an essential role as apex predators, maintaining balance within marine ecosystems. Their decline triggers cascading effects, altering prey populations and the health of coral reefs and seagrass beds. Stricter regulations on shark finning and fishing are necessary to halt their alarming decline. Whale populations, particularly baleen whales like the blue whale and humpback whale, also suffer indirect consequences from overfishing. As humans extract vast quantities of krill and small schooling fish, these whales lose crucial food sources needed to sustain their massive energy requirements. Overfishing, coupled with climate change, makes it increasingly challenging for these whales to thrive. Protecting their feeding grounds and regulating the harvesting of krill are vital steps toward ensuring their future. Seabirds, including iconic species like albatrosses and puffins, are another casualty of overfishing. Many seabirds rely on small fish, such as anchovies and sardines, for their diet. When these fish are overharvested for human consumption or fishmeal production, seabird populations decline. Albatrosses in particular are doubly impacted by bycatch, as they often dive after baited hooks and become entangled in long lines. Sustainable fishery practices and conservation measures are key to saving these vulnerable species. Sea lions and seals, often seen as charismatic ambassadors of the ocean, are struggling to find sufficient food due to overfishing. Species like the Galapagos fur seal and the Australian sea lion depend on abundant stocks of fish like sardines and mackerel. When these fish are overharvested, sea lions and seals face starvation and reproductive challenges. By setting science-based catch limits and preserving marine sanctuaries, we can ensure their prey species remain plentiful. The overexploitation of cephalopods, particularly squid, has far-reaching impacts on marine food webs. Squid are a key prey species for numerous marine predators, including dolphins, seabirds, and larger fish. Unsustainable squid fishing disrupts the balance of marine ecosystems, affecting not only squid populations but also the species that depend on them for sustenance. Improved management and monitoring of squid fisheries are essential to prevent these cascading effects. Overfishing also threatens coral reefs, indirectly impacting thousands of species that call reefs home. Herbivorous fish, like parrotfish and surgeonfish, play a critical role in keeping algae in check, which, allows corals to thrive. When these fish are overharvested, coral reefs can become overrun with algae, leading to reef degradation. Protecting herbivorous fish through sustainable fishing practices is a crucial part of reef conservation efforts. Orcas, or killer whales, are apex predators that depend on healthy fish populations to sustain their pods. Overfishing of salmon, a key food source for certain orca populations like the southern resident killer whales, has left these intelligent mammals struggling to find enough to eat. This nutritional stress exacerbates other threats they face, including pollution and habitat loss. Protecting salmon runs and restoring ecosystems they inhabit can help revive struggling orca populations. Sea otters, though primarily associated with kelp forests, are also indirectly impacted by overfishing. They rely on healthy populations of sea urchins and other invertebrates, which themselves are affected by changes in marine ecosystems due to overfishing. Additionally, overharvesting of fish that form part of their complex food chain can create imbalances that ripple up to sea otters. Restoring kelp forests and managing fisheries responsibly can ensure sea otters and their habitats remain resilient. Lastly, one of the most iconic victims of overfishing is the Atlantic cod. Once the backbone of global fisheries, Atlantic cod populations have plummeted due to decades of overexploitation. This collapse has not only devastated fishing communities but also affected the broader ecosystem, as cod are a key predator in their habitats. Efforts to rebuild cod stocks through stricter quotas and no-take zones are crucial for restoring balance in affected marine ecosystems. The crisis of overfishing highlights the interconnectedness of life in our oceans. Protecting these 10 animals requires a combination of international cooperation, sustainable fisheries management, and public awareness. By addressing overfishing, we can preserve marine biodiversity and ensure the health of ocean ecosystems for generations to come.